Today I will be narrating a story written by my son Akshath from the book Talespin Stories from Young Authors, published in 2021 by Readomania. Talespin, a collection of 9 tales written by promising young authors, explores a whole range of human experiences and many dilemmas that is life. About the author. Akshath Thoguparthy is a student of Basava International School, New Delhi, currently studying in grade 9. Apart from academics, his interests include playing cricket, football, and writing books. He is passionate about photography and aviation. Being a native of Chennai and currently residing in New Delhi, he is fluent in many languages. He loves acting in stage plays in different languages and has performed multiple times. His dream is to travel the world and hence he aspires to become a pilot. Kids Know Everything by Akshat Thoguparthy. It was completely dark. I was surrounded by water or some other liquid. I couldn't tell. After a few moments that I cannot describe, there was light everywhere. The light was so bright that I started crying. I assumed that it was God and I was happy to finally meet him. My hopes went down the hill when I saw many people with masks around me. I don't know why, but they looked blurry. It felt like I was seeing the world in low quality video. I suppose that I had just entered the world. After coming out, I realized that I was full of blood. It was cold blooded murder. People think that kids can simply sleep the whole day without any entertainment. I was filled with boredom at the hospital. After 3 boring days, I was finally taken home. Over the next few weeks, many monsters visited me, and every time I would cry because they all looked so scary. What can I do if my vision was blurred? They used to feed me only milk. I understand I don't have teeth, but come on, I am also a human, just a little small. I was getting bored of having milk and lying down all the time. I kept wondering why was I not roaming around like the others? I think that my mom understood that I was bored because I don't know where we were going, but she started packing bags. Soon I was in a train. Maybe I slept in between. It had been just 4 weeks since I had come into the world, and here I was in a train. Maybe that's why I love traveling. Choo choo, the train started to move. After some time, I reached my relative's house in Trichy. The house and the people in it looked quite scary. Everyone seemed to be ogling at me. Literally, more than half of my relatives lived in Trichy. We stayed there for about 2 months, during which time my vision improved considerably. I could see the monsters clearly now. My father used to visit me sometimes because he couldn't live without seeing me, and I noticed that he wasn't scary looking. Earlier, when he would come to kiss me, I would think that he would eat me. Once my father was walking towards me with a stick. Tuck, tuck, tuck. I thought he was coming to hit me. The next second, he walked past me. He actually wanted to pluck a mango from the tree. Wow, that was scary. I think that every child is bored looking at monkey faces all the time. People come to me, wag their tongues, and try to make me laugh by making weird faces. All they want is to see my beautiful smile. Am I exaggerating it? I didn't want to make them feel bad, so I used to oblige, even if I was in no mood to do so. It's so sad that people come to you and rather than talking about life, they just make funny faces. My friends and I always talk about life. We discuss the ups and downs of it. We know that we are small, but that doesn't mean that we cannot talk about serious issues. The conversation is like ba 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 light life, ta 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 ta, so ups ba downs, ups and downs. After some days, I got bored and I told my mom, Tata Boto Tabor. The next day, I found myself in the train. Okay, maybe it was a coincidence. Why do kids sleep for 14 hours a day? I had slept in the train again and missed experiencing the beautiful journey. By the time I woke up, it was night already. Suddenly, the lights went out and I heard some weird noises. Everyone was sleeping and I had no idea where the sound was coming from. And boom! I woke up with a start. It was just a dream. Phew! Dreams are just so weird sometimes. After some time, we reached the station. My father was waiting on the platform. I started to jump in excitement. Well, almost as soon as I saw him. More than half of the luggage belonged to me, and I felt so special about it. My father helped my mother with the luggage. Actually, he was the only one carrying them, as my mother held on to her most precious belonging, me. In an hour or so, we reached home. The next day, we went to my maternal grandparents' house, as my mom hadn't seen her parents for about 3 months. It took me a while to recognize them, though. Then I played with them for some time and finally went to sit on my mom's lap after I got tired. Do you know, kids love to sway? Mom placed me on the sofa, which had cushions. I was swaying to my delight when a cushion moved a little and hit my eye. My mom panicked, thinking I had hurt my eyes. You see, I am smart and had closed my eyes, but the cushion hit my eyelids. It hurt, and I think there was a little bleeding too. My family believes that if you apply coffee powder on the affected place, the bleeding would stop. Now, as I was in pain and was howling, I didn't know if the blood flow had stopped or not. My mom applied coffee powder on my eyelids and rushed me to a clinic. The nurse took us to a room where a scary little man, not so little maybe, was sitting and playing with something which was hanging on his neck. My mom sat in front of him and she narrated what had happened. The doctor informed that he couldn't stitch me as the wound was very close to the eye. He gave us an ointment which looked quite tasty. My mom thanked him profusely and we came back to my grandparents' house. The wound felt really itchy and it hurt when I scratched it. My mom applied the ointment regularly and the pain was soon gone. I was made to sleep on the bed as it wasn't safe for me to roam around. I had no pain, but if someone touched the wound, it hurt. The wound healed, but it left a scar. If my mother wouldn't have taken immediate action, the scar would have been bigger, all thanks to the coffee powder. After some months, I heard my parents talking about shaving my head. I was very upset about it. I told them, Bata to shave had nas. What I meant was I didn't want to shave my head. I mean, who wants to shave off their head? I think that my dad didn't understand what I said and just laughed. I was miffed that he was not heeding to my appeals and making fun of me. I got very angry. Ba 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 ba, I said, filled with exasperation. Ha ha ha, was his answer again. I was annoyed and I just turned my face and resumed playing with my toys. I showed my attitude and yet again my dad laughed. I did not talk to him for about an hour and he was surprised with my anger. Well, it's jeans, dude. Get a grasp. Then he came to me and apologized. I thought that I should forgive my father because I don't want to be portrayed as a bad character. I am 8 months old now. I don't know how all this time passed, but I am enjoying my life. I mean, what work do kids have? They can sleep, dance, sing, and play how much ever they want as they have nothing to do. I am pretty happy that I have a nice family. We have a big house. We live on the ground floor, and my uncle's family lives on the first floor. I heard the elders saying that I would have to sit on my uncle's lap when my head would be shaved. As soon as I heard the irritating words head shaving, I screamed, Ba ba. I don't know what I said, but I think they understood, and everyone laughed. It seems they find me so cute that no matter what I say, they find it funny. What could I do if I was so cute? Then my father asked my uncle, Do you want to go to Tirupati to shave his head, brother? Yes, sure, he replied. But I have some work in my office, so I'm not free for the next 3 days, he added. It's okay. Do you want me to book the tickets for Sunday? Yes, yes, it's perfect, he said with acceleration. I was helpless and I had to agree, even though I did not want to. My father asked the whole family for their consent. What about me, eh? I was the only one with an objection, but it didn't make any difference to them. Just because I was little, I was not supposed to have any opinion. Sunday arrived in no time. My family headed to Tirupati in two cars. The idea seems fun, isn't it? Yes, for you it's fun, but for me it was the road to hell. We left with lots of luggage, mostly mine. And I don't know why, but we stopped at a restaurant on the highway. Oh, my diaper was wet. Probably that's why. While my mom was changing my diaper, I don't know why, but my dad kept distracting me. After that, they ate and talked a lot, but they were the ones who were enjoying the food, as I only had milk again. I'm fed up. Who can drink milk all the time? You cannot resist yourself from eating tasty food. Then, as they ate their food, I was watching the beautiful road. There were many cars, bikes, and birds. I saw a man who was holding something which was pointing towards the sun. I think it was a camera and got very excited. I started pouncing on my mom's lap just as she was about to take a bite. Immediately, bite sized food fell on me. She had to clean my dress with a tissue, and while doing that, she was also blocking my view. I was watching the black sparkling thing, and my mom's hand came in between. I became furious and bit her hand. I had very few teeth, and that's why it was not much effective. My mom spotted me watching that man and asked, "Do you like that camera?" "Baba Masa," I replied. She understood and she said, "Yes, beta, it's a camera." I liked the way it sounded, and I started making some greedy gestures. Pointed my hand towards that man, and my mom said, "No, I won't take you to that man." Suddenly, my father started distracting me from that man. Did he really think I would get distracted so quickly? He was right. His plan worked, and a second later, I started playing with my father, completely forgetting the camera. After everyone had finished eating, we resumed our journey. This time, I wanted to travel in my uncle's car because I was bored of traveling in our car. They couldn't say no, and we exchanged the cars for this ride. I sat on my mom's lap, and it was quite amazing to look at the passing vehicles. Soon I felt sleepy. I couldn't control myself and closed my eyes while watching the cars and slept. After a long nap, when I opened my eyes slowly, I saw that we were in a dhaba again. I drank my milk and the elders ate their food. I started to get irritated with this. Come on, man, for how much time will I be deprived of tasty food? After eating, they ordered some cream like substance. I was surprised when my mom fed it to me. It was really cold. That was the first time I ate ice cream and instantly fell in love with it. After eating the delicious ice cream, we left. I slept again, and this time the journey was really short. We reached a hotel, and after resting for half an hour, we left for the Tirumala Tirupati Kalyanakatta, the place where heads are shaved. I was enjoying myself in the car as I didn't know what was about to happen. I mean, I knew it, but didn't know that it was about to happen now. I was playing with my uncle's daughter and having fun. The car stopped, and my sister carried me. I was pulling her hair, and she acted as if she didn't know who was doing it. People think that kids don't understand anything. Well, they are wrong. I understood that she was acting as if she didn't know anything, and I got irritated as I thought that she found me stupid. I shouted angrily and pulled her hair again. This time she reacted and said, "Come on, stop doing it." I forgave her as I am not a bad person. While this was happening, the place where they cut the heads, oh, sorry, hair, approached. As soon as I saw it, I panicked. The place was full of hair, and I became scared that my hair was also about to vanish. I started to wail as I did not want my precious hair to go away. I think everyone anticipated this as they did not even react to me crying. My sister took me to a man who was holding a knife, and as soon as I saw him, I started laughing. I did that because something was hanging on his head. Oh, it was a lock of hair. Okay, that was for one moment only. The next moment, they made me sit on my uncle's lap as per our tradition. I became so scared that I tried to escape from his lap. But I was just a tiny 9-month-old baby and was no match to my uncle, and he completely overpowered me. My uncle held me tightly, and the knife slowly approached my head. Soon all my lovely locks would be gone, and a shiny pate would remain. What could I do? Maybe if I move, I could escape it. This was the thought that I had, and I was even thinking of executing it. I was so stupid. I had to do it when the knife was close to my head. So the knife touched my head, took my hair, but I was not in the mood, and I suddenly moved, only to get a scratch on my head. It wasn't a big cut, but I did scream because of the fear that I had. The tonsure was actually over, but the funny man with the single lock kept shaving further to clean my scalp. I was crying like anything. All this was happening against my wishes, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was completely bossed over by the elders just because they were physically stronger than me. My cries fell on deaf ears. But I guess this is what life is. The strong always bully the weak. I'm going to end the story now. I hope you all agree with me. Don't think babies are idiots. Remember, kids know everything.